Now, this is what I expect the Sixers to do against lowly teams like the New York Knicks, like the Brooklyn Nets, Cleveland Cavaliers, so on and so forth. You win the games that you're expected to, which is what they did tonight. They handled business. The starters were able to get a good amount of rest. That Brett took them out about 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. So Embiid had the most out of any starters just with 30 minutes. JoJo gets his 21st double-double of the year, 26 and 14. Monster. But if you look at the Knicks, they definitely have the worst lineup, I think, in all of the NBA. Out of their starting five, four of them were lottery picks. You got Noah Vonleh, Mario Hezonja, Enes Kanter, and Emmanuel Mudiay. All busts in the respective draft class. Nobody really scares you on that team other than Porzingis. Who do they really have? Nobody. I think their best bet is when he does get healthy, just to ship him off, trade him, and try to reboot. Because they tried the whole tanking process that the Sixers went through. It's just when they do it, they weren't in the top three all those years. They continue to fall down in the draft for whatever reason in the lottery. They had the ninth pick last year, and they got Kevin Knox, who I think is going to be a good player. I do like Knox. I don't know why you don't insert him into the lineup. You have a really good chance to get your young player that you're going to build around probably with Porzingis and get him a lot of experience in the NBA. But regardless, Sixers own it. J.J. Redick's jumper was wet tonight. It was wet. Tickle in the twine, 10 for 14, 4 from 6 from downtown. He and JoJo had a good two-way game going on. This is what you expect the Sixers to do. They played really good defense. They didn't lay down like they did the other two games against them lowly teams. So, I really like what we see. This is what I expect for us to do when we play teams like this. Take them down. Just freaking kill them, annihilate them, stop them. We had a 31-point lead at one point. Ended up winning by 26, 117 to 91. Simmons, 14, 7, and 8. I'm still a little... The flyer's still out on Ben Simmons. A couple times he penetrated, and he bailed him out by kicking it out again. If we really want to get to that elite level, if we want to excel, we want to play for championships and multiple championships, he's got to start showing more progression on the offensive end. Okay, he worked on his jumper, supposedly, over the offseason, during the summer. I haven't seen it at the free throw line. What is he shooting? 50-some% from the free throw line? He doesn't take any jump. Again, took one jumper during the game. It was another fadeaway. If you look at them, okay, Ben's been playing basketball his whole life. JoJo just started playing, 8 to 9 years ago? And he's excelled every single year. He's playing on an MVP level. He also leads the leagues in free throw attempts and free throws made. He's just gotten better every single year, and that's what you expect out of your young players. Okay, there's no waiting with Ben. Okay, because our chance is coming up to where we want to win now. You don't trade for Jimmy Butler and you want to wait another couple of years. No, our window, you get a certain amount of time and windows to really close in on the championship. We cannot wait for Simmons another 3 or 4 years to develop a jumper or develop his offensive game. Okay, we need him to start being aggressive now. And if you don't see any progression this year and going into next year, I don't think they extend him. From what I've seen, up until this point, okay, I'm not saying trade him now, but if he continues on the road that he's going, I'm not re-signing Ben Simmons to a $200+ million contract for what he's doing now. You've seen what better teams do. They clog the paint, and they dare him to shoot. People have compared him to Magic Johnson, Jason Kidd. Okay, great point guards in their retrospect, in their eras. Awesome. Pass point first. You always want to play with a pass first point guard, right? Okay, but at least when the chance was given to them to take jumpers, they took them. Because you keep the defense honest by doing that. By Simmons not doing that, he's playing into the defense's hands. And that gives the defense's ability to go double either JJ or Embiid or whoever, and leaving him wide open, and it slows down the offense. You saw it tonight. He had a chance to where he got a rebound. He could set up in the post. What did he do? He ran all the way back out and tried to get ahead of steam. That's what he wants. That's where he excels in. He needs a head of steam to kind of either bowl people over, or he had that nice little Euro step. He needs to learn to pull up and take a jump shot. Okay? We need him to be elite for us to be elite. He needs to be that third tier to Jimmy and Embiid. Our time is now. We're probably more than likely, hopefully, going to re-sign Jimmy next year. Okay, to a big contract. We got Embiid locked up. Question is still out on Simmons. I think Shamet played really well, even though he didn't really get too many minutes. They were garbage minutes. You'd like to get Furkan, but the bench still needs a lot of work, and I'm glad that we were able to build a big lead like this. I wish we could have done that against the Nets or Cleveland, because it gives your bench more time to play together, because they don't get that many minutes. Sparingly, maybe 15, 16 minutes here and there. But to collectively play as a unit like they did tonight, it's big. I feel like it gets overlooked, but it's big brownie points for them to play cohesively, get a lot of time, and play together and be able to maintain leads like they did tonight. Because you kind of wondered, like, oh, are they going to be able to cut in? No, the Knicks played awful tonight. Even though they are bad and a young team, they shot, 34%, I believe, from the floor and 20% from downtown. At one point, they missed 18 straight threes. So, Sixers shot 54%. They were 58% from downtown, or 50, or give or take, 48%, I think, from downtown. So they shot really well. They were able to take advantage. I still like for us to be more aggressive on the boards. A lot of times Sixers were getting out rebounded. Again, there's one Knick down there and 3 Sixers, and the one Knick is still either tapping it out to the point guards out on his team, or he's grabbing the rebound himself. We have to be able to block out and still be aggressive on the offensive end. So that's still, we are struggling still right there. Passed the ball beautifully tonight. A lot of great ball movement. 33 assists. In one quarter, I think we had more assists than the Knicks had field goals, like 18, and then they only had 17 field goals made. But they stink. So, not much to talk about. Good. It's a good little build-up. We got the Wizards, who are not playing well, but I think they're better what their record shows. So, it's rough to be a New York Knicks fan. The last time I remember them being good is back in 98, 99, when they had Latrell Sprewell and Allen Houston, Charlie Ward, guys like that, when they were battling on the Spurs for the championship. That's the Knicks I remember with Jeff Van Gundy. Since then, they have had so many misses. They've stunk for the longest time. A shame for a franchise that they are. Happy to see it, though. Could care less. We beat them. But we got the Wizards coming in on Friday. There's been speculation and trade rumors that the Sixers are going to go out and maybe get a Bradley Beal. You're maybe talking Shamet, this and that. All rumors at this point. I don't want to do that because I feel like you're going to give up too much to go out and get a player that does fit the system well, but we keep just losing bench players at that point. You'd have a great starting 5, but we all know you have to have a good bench to win a championship. So, there's the Markelle drama going on. Kyle Korver was traded today, so thank God that is all out the window. We don't have to worry about Markelle Fultz getting traded for a 40-year-old freaking aging wing player. He got traded to Utah for 2 second-round picks, so we can lay that to bed. If I was the Sixers, I wouldn't curtail and give in to Markelle Fultz. I don't care if you're not happy here and you're trying to get traded. Prove to me and give yourself some trade value. I'm going to keep you on this team, whether it's stick you on the G League or give you some minutes off the bench, until you prove to be some value. You are a number 1 overall pick. I am not just trading you for nothing, giving you away for nothing. We've invested way too much in Markelle Fultz to just give him away. He might not be in the Sixers' plans, but I'm not going to screw the Sixers. If I'm Elton Brand, I'm not screwing the Sixers over just to give into a crybaby. You know what I mean? So we will see what happens Friday when we come in and the visitors, John Wall and Bradley Beal, come in to play the Sixers. We are now 11-1 at home. Bro, cut your losses. I don't want Fultz anyway. You're just going to give them away for nothing? I'm not doing that. Nah. Not to give up the pick we did. And, you know, trading up to give up that Kings pick and then giving him or drafting him number 1 overall, that still has some value to it. So I'm not trading him away and just giving him away for nothing because he's a crybaby. I'm good. I'm going to try to get as much value as possible for him. It might not be much, but it's better than just giving him away. The same with Simmons. That could come to a point to where we could just, if he doesn't progress, do we trade him instead of losing him? I think you would have to. But we will cross that road when we get to it. Still young in the season. Still would like to see some aggressiveness out of him. Oubre for Fultz. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. Oubre's all right. He's okay. But, like, the whole thing for Kyle Korver, I wasn't doing that. There's no way. There's no way in hell I'm giving up Fultz for that old bum. But he's out of here anyway, so we can put that to bed. Yep. So that was it. Just wanted to make that quick video. Not much to talk about. Sixers dominated a team they should have. Yeah, he's a southpaw. You know, he's an up-and-down player. He was like a guy like a Zaire Smith. Energy guy. Tell you what. Yeah, trade Ben for Wall and Beal. Yeah, that'd be funny. That'd be something. Yeah, I just want to see some progression out of Ben. And he's the same player as he was last year. Got to see the aggressiveness. Why don't I get Korver for 2 second-round picks? Yeah, that would have been fine if we gave up second-round picks to get him. But for whatever reason, Brand didn't do it. He would have added another shooter to this team, but a liability on defense. And if you heard Brand before, he wants to get a player that can do multiple things. Defend, score, and shoot. And he can't defend. How about trading the Suns' Fultz for Josh Jackson and Dragan Bender? I'd like to have Josh Jackson. I don't want Dragan Bender. He's another bust. He's crap. But yeah, I'd like to have Josh Jackson on this team. He'd be nice. Nice versatile guy, wing defender. Can up and down like an Iguodala type. Can shoot a little bit. Can score. And doesn't have a wide variety of options on the offensive end. But yeah, sure, I'd take him. Yeah, it's all going to come into play what we're going to do with that Miami pick, that 2021 Miami pick. Because I don't think we're going to keep it. I think we're going to trade it at some point. Malachi Richardson. Yeah. Put me in the gym for 2 weeks and hitting threes. This dude gets paid to play basketball and can't shoot. It's crazy. You talking about Fultz, Connor? It's a whole mental thing at this point with him. No Pepto, Sean. Didn't have to break it out. Didn't even crack the seal. I was hoping I wouldn't have to tonight. Glad. Because we handled business at home like we should have. Yeah, there's no way I was going to watch that game down there. So I tried to sell my ticket, but nobody bought it. A lot of cheap people out there, that's for sure. Want to get stuff for free. Looks like it was somewhat packed down there, though. Usually, Knicks fans come out in bunches, and they buy these tickets up. Didn't look like there was many Knicks fans there tonight, but what is there to root for if you're a Knicks fan? When I went to the draft last year, it was held in Brooklyn. There was a ton of Knicks fans, and I was talking to a couple of them. And they were just so fed up with Phil Jackson and just the whole organization as a whole from what they've done over the past 10 years. And then when they drafted Frank Ntilikina, they booed that. They booed freaking Kevin Knox. They didn't want him. So Knicks fans been frustrated. I think they want to follow kind of in the footsteps of what the Sixers did, even though it was mocked all over. But they have failed. So the Korver ship has sailed. Yep. Don't have to worry about him anymore. He's off to Utah. Thanks for your insight, man. Always appreciate it. No problem, Giovanni. Anytime, homie. Anytime. But Sixers are... I'm just interested to see what Elton's going to do with that Miami pick, because that's going to be involved in a trade piece. Whether it's to get a shooter like a Bradley Beal, or, you have all that drama happening out there in Golden State with Kevin Durant. I'm not saying we go after him, but Klay Thompson, I have read, doesn't want to play there anymore. Would he come out to the East Coast if we threw a ton of money at him? I would love to have Klay Thompson on here. He'd be a perfect fit. But I could see the Lakers going after him. His dad played for LA. The Showtime Lakers won 2 championships. Plus, he'd have a chance to play with LeBron. So the meter might pour more towards him playing over there. Plus, he's been on the West Coast his whole life. Played college out there. Would you like to see Draymond come here? I love Draymond Green. I would come and get Draymond Green in a second. I would go pick him up at the airport. I am the biggest fan of Draymond Green. His style of play, the way he talks trash, how cocky he is. I love Draymond Green. That's the type of player I would like to have. And you kind of have it in Jimmy Butler. He's not as cocky. He doesn't speak out as much as Draymond does, but I feel like Jimmy's a quieter Draymond Green. But, man, anybody on that Golden State team except Durant I would take. Yep, he is definitely ignorant. And I just think that whole thing of, which is fine. That's dope. He can be ignorant all he wants. He's earned every right to be from what he's done. He's had a similar story to Jimmy Butler, Draymond has. But I think that might be coming to an end just with all that drama. They can't pay all those guys, and I'm sure Clay's going to want to get paid at some point because Fultz have left here. There's been a lot of teams inquiring about Fultz. It's just getting the right deal done. That's who I really... Who do you want, Giovanni? You want KD here? Is that who you really want? Or Klay Thompson? Yeah, but to answer you, Sean, you got to remember, he holds a heavy cap with him about the amount of money. He's got a $10 million hit. So whatever team's going to trade for him is going to have to take on that salary. And then it's going to affect all our books as well. So, on top of him not really having much value because of this whole mental shoulder thing, you've got that $10 million to put on top of it as well. So, I don't know who's really chomping at the bit to come get Markelle Fultz for high value. That's why I would just hold on to him unless you have a deal that's going to blow you out of the water, whether it's Washington, Cleveland, whoever. Whoever's inquiring about this cat. But don't just get a deal done to get a deal. But you can't wait too long either. Because you remember Brian Colangelo waited too long on Nerlens Noel and Okafor. And you want to strike while the iron's hot, but at least they played games and they had somewhat of a little bit of a trade value. Fultz doesn't, because of the situation that we've been going through. So, you just don't want to trade a guy away and just get 2 measly second-round picks. Tough spot for the Sixers. I don't know if we're going to get much. That's why I'm saying I'd hold on to him. And let him work himself out, do whatever, let him cry, go pout, stick him in the G League, whatever. Stick him in a corner. Let him dress up in all his little weird outfits or do whatever he wants to do. But $10 million and not a lot of playing time and not a lot of promise either. But is there going to be a team that's out there willing to take a chance on the number 1 overall pick? Absolutely. It's up to Elton Brand to do his homework. And I'll tell you what, I have more faith in Elton Brand than I ever did in Brian Colangelo. Especially after that trade that he did to acquire Jimmy Buckets. I love Fultz in the D-League. I live in Delaware. Oh, there you go, man. I'm sure that'd be good for the Bluecoats. I don't think he'd ever go there. He would probably go hide in a gym somewhere and work out himself like he did over the off-season. But he needs to play somewhere to prove himself. If he could go down there and light it up and fix the pump fakes, it's just amazing because you see his college tape and the shooting form is there. What happened? Phoenix? Man, that team trades more guards than anybody. They've gone through so many guards over the years. I don't know. They don't really have a point now. They're having Devin Booker pay, but what are they willing to give? Are we going to get Mikal Bridges? How ironic would that be? Give us Bridges and Crawford. Oh, I would love TJ Warren here. That guy can score the ball straight up. Him coming off the bench would be a nice addition. He can shoot. He can score in a multitude of ways, get to the line. He's got a nice mid-range game. He can score on the post a little bit. If we could trade Fultz for TJ Warren, straight up, done deal. Yeah, because he's kind of like the odd man out there. Because they want to build, inside out. You got Booker on the perimeter. Now you have Ayton. And I feel like it kind of screws up when Warren's in there trying to score down below. Because I know he does a lot of his work on the block, kind of like Ayton. Even though they both can stretch it. But if we could pry TJ Warren away from the Phoenix, let's get it done. Let's get it done, Elton Brand. We need to make a push. This team right now is not good enough, though, to make it in the second round of the playoffs. That's okay, Lionel. I'll take it, bro. I'd rather like to see some of these games instead of some of them nail-biters we've been watching over the past couple weeks. Would you rather have Dwight Howard or Amir Johnson? No, I don't want Dwight Howard. He's a crybaby. What do you think about Fultz's worth? Is that what you just said? I missed that. But Dwight Howard, he's a drama case. Crybaby. Another crybaby. I don't want those soft crybabies. I already have one on the team. Plus, there was some weird, rumor that Dwight Howard had sex with a transsexual guy or something? I know, but he would be a defensive spark, no? I mean, we do need a guy that needs to come off the bench and get rebounds and block shots. Oh, what would you trade Fultz for Fultz? It's tough to say because of, this whole situation. If I was another team, I wouldn't give, I'd give a first round, probably protected, anything, but I don't think you're getting a first round. It's going to be second round picks and a bench player. Nothing about training shit, never mind. You didn't hear about that? About the Dwight Howard apparently was getting with a he-she or something? Yeah, man, I miss Holmes. Awesome energy guy off the bench. Yeah, dude, it was in the news. Check it out. Look it up. But yeah, Holmes was always the odd man out. He never complained. He always came in and did his job. He was, a nice little energy guy off the bench. Could catch alley-oops. Defensively, he was a problem. He wasn't that good defensively. He got pushed around a lot. I think it would be much more valuable just to keep him. Yeah, I'm not trying to just trade Fultz just to get rid of him because of him stomping his feet and demanding a trade. He wants to start over. Nobody backs him, blah, 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 blah. He's got nothing but support from his teammates and the fans. There has been a little talk about him in the media, but what do you expect? You're a number one overall pick. You have a giddy up in your free throws, and then you forget to shoot. Of course you're going to be in the news. What do you expect? You're not going to get no kickback? A lot of weight comes with that number one overall pick. And this has to do, I feel, like players just doing the one-and-done deal. First, it was high school, and kids were coming out of high school. It was watering down the league, so they changed it to one-and-dones. I think they're going to have to change it again because even a lot of these kids coming out after one-and-dones are not ready to play in the NBA. It's still another 3 or 4 year process to where they're acclimating to the game. There's not many times you have LeBron James, Kobe Bryant's coming out. So if you gauge the numbers, how often you having generational players like that coming out where they don't have to play in college? It can come right out of high school. Slim to nil, okay? You look at the crop coming out now. Zion Williamson probably projected to be number one overall pick. I wouldn't take him. Yeah, he's fun to watch. You put butts in the seats because he can dunk, but is he really the best player on that team? No. I'd say JT Barrett is. How far would the Sixers go in the playoffs this season? As of right now, with the team we have, maybe the first round. We get past the first round. I don't see us going any further than that, though. because we really haven't gotten with the players we have. I don't see the scale tipping past the second round. We didn't really get, even with Butler. We still need more. I'm not. I love Justin Patton, Styles Prince. We just need to get him healthy. He'd be a nice piece behind JoJo. He can jump out of the gym. I love watching him at Creighton. He can stretch it to about 17 feet. He's like a pogo stick. He can jump out the gym. He can play some defense. It's just he's had 3 surgeries on his feet, 2 on his right, 1 on his left. That kind of is worrisome. He's still a young buck. He's only 21 years old. You just got to get him right. And I know he's out indefinitely. I just hope he can get healthy and get back on the court. But we still need a nice backup piece to JoJo because they attack the crap out of the rim when he's not in there. They score a lot in the paint, and that's what gets them back in the games a lot of times. What's up, Eric? So the whole drama with him. You've got the free agency class coming out next year. Clay, Giannis, Porzingis. It's a very nice class. It's better than this year's past class that came out. But yeah, I'm definitely thinking they're gonna have to change that one and done rule because even with the one and dones, it's watered down the league. Tell me who's really a generational player and came out in the past 4 years, other than I guess Giannis, right? But it's still he didn't come out right away and was killing it. It still took him some time to develop. So I think they should change it to 2 years. You at least have to stay 2 years in college. Ben, nah. Ben, no, definitely not. No way. I mean, we're in what, year 3 for him officially, year 2 playing, but I mean the dude can't shoot a jump shot to save his life. And he can barely take it to the rim. Nah. He's not a great player. He's a good player. He's not great, though. He's not like a LeBron or a Kobe. I'm not putting him in that realm whatsoever. Because when they came in the league, I know Kobe had his first year, it was rough. But second year, same with LeBron right off the bat was just a beast. He had to stop forcing. What was that, Eric? I missed that. But it's something the league has to look into. Just because you look at Ingram, Simmons, who else? Tatum's good. I wouldn't say he's on the level of Kobe or he's good, though. Or LeBron. Yeah, I know. He has a ton of potential. That's the thing. And that's what has everybody hooked on players coming out of the NBA. That's why the NBA got bad. Yeah, it did, Eric. I agree. That's why it did get. It got watered down, and it happened quickly. But we look at players with their ceilings and players that go to college for 4 years get overlooked because they don't have the ceiling or the potential. Because they're not 19 years old and have all the athleticism or, can shoot out and jump out of the gym. Or for whatever reason. They weren't the fastest, the tallest, the strongest. Didn't have the best shooting touch. And it's like, oh, they're too old. They're 21 years old. They have no ceiling. Then you look at a player like Fultz Simmons. They have all the potential in the world because they're young and they have these special gifts. But will they ever get there? You have that waiting period. Well, our period is now. We want to win now. We can't wait another 3 years for Simmons to develop a jumper, to get aggressive. He needs to start turning the corner this year. And in the first 20-some games, I see nothing different from the Simmons I saw last year. I think he's digressed, as I've stated before. At least last year, you saw a lot of games he was being aggressive. I mean, 2 games ago, he was going down to the post every time, calling for the ball, being aggressive with it, and now he's just back to being the passive old Ben where he's breaking down the defense and automatically kicking it out. Keep the defense honest, dude, and just take a jumper. Just take one. Look at Kidd. Look at Magic. Steve Nash wasn't a great shooter when he came out of college. Turned into a pretty great shooter. Hall of Famer. The Kardashian curse. But she's not a Kardashian, so can we really say that? I feel like as fans, we're grabbing at thin air and trying to blame Kendall Jenner for him not progressing. You have that whole petition. Patience is a virtue, style, but how long can we wait? Jimmy Butler isn't going to wait. Okay? He's not the youngest guy out there. I say when you've got your core, you've got about a 5-year window. You got JoJo. He's playing out of his mind. But then you've got to start paying everybody, too. We can't forget about that. You don't want to be strapped. Yeah. But, I mean, can we really blame it on them guys? On the Kardashians and Jenners? For him not progressing? I mean, they do have a track record with athletes. That's for sure. I mean, look at Kendall, or not Kendall, the Bruce Jenner and Lamar Odom and Reggie Bush and all them cats. I don't think that's the reason, though. That's funny. For sure. I know they did start a petition to ban her from coming down. It's the only thing that makes sense. I wouldn't say it's that. Ben has to improve every year, but Fultz can take Kobe route. Yeah, I mean, I'm not giving... It sucks with everything's happened with Fultz, but I still think he's going to be a good player. When we do finally trade him, I think he will turn into the player that we drafted #1 overall. And it'll just be like, oh, shit. I'm hoping that doesn't happen, and I hope he continues to be a crybaby everywhere he goes. I had church tonight and work nights. Miss a lot of games. Always hear about Ben's need to improve multiple people. It is concerning, bro. It sucks. They're all the same. We all lump them in together, them Jenner Kardashians. But yeah, we need to see more out of Ben. Simmons and Embiid are both under 25 when they are in their prime, 26-32. We are still got... but you got to look at money-wise. Are they going to want to stay here? You know, you figure you keep getting knocked out in the second round. Is Ben going to want to stay here? Is Embiid going to want to stay here? You can't just assume they want to play here their whole careers. I'm cool with the Korver trade. I didn't want him anyway. So, better off for him to go wherever. Because if they were going to trade Fultz for Korver, I was going to be really pissed off. Yeah, exactly. I made that statement earlier, Super Bowl 52. Embiid has played basketball for 8 years, maybe. Ben Simmons his whole life. And Embiid has progressed every single year, gotten better every single year. And he's not even at the tip of his potential. Simmons, who's played his entire life, and his dad played NBA, or not in the NBA, played in the Australia League, played professionally. You know, so he's got those roots. He's been around basketball his entire life. And you're telling me in all that time he hasn't developed a jumper at all. None whatsoever. Won't even attempt it. And I heard his dad had a nice jumper in Australia. From a couple of the Australian cats that are on here. I heard he had a wet jump shot. So, what the hell's going on? Yeah, right. Right. Korkmaz is fine. We got him. We've got, you know, Shamet. I still just think you need a veteran shooter, not as old as Korver, but Brand said it. He wants a guy that can shoot, defend, and possibly create his own shot. The first two I'll take. I don't care if he can't really create his own shot. That would be a given. But I want a guy that at least can play defense, because that was what we got exposed for against the Celtics last year, if y'all remember. They killed us on the perimeter. We couldn't defend them out there, and got us knocked out. Killed us. Kind of in the same boat. We got a little bit younger with Corky and with Shamet, with Bellinelli and Ilyasova. Lover and JR. What, are you taking Fultz? You mean the Fultz and those two? G League soon to get him for him. Yeah, we got to get Mr. Peanut Allergy in the G League or playing. We got to see what we got in him. But it would add another young athletic guy that can defend multiple positions. He would be great right now. You've got Wilson Chandler paying 30-some minutes a game. I'm sure he didn't sign up for that, but I like him in the starting lineup. Gives you some grit. With Super Zaire Smith comes back, man, he's going to be a highlight reel. I'm excited to watch Zaire play. You know, another young kid that they're investing a lot in, who they think is going to take a big turn, a big step, and make this team get that much better. But we don't know until he gets on the court. It's all a bunch of what ifs. Same with Fultz. Big what ifs. What's going to happen? But the relationship with him and the Sixers organization is done. So he's definitely on his way out. Yeah, Avery Bradley's dope. Hopefully he can progress like he did and learn how to shoot. And his form's not bad. So it's not ugly. So it's there. You can build off of that. He shot very well from the free throw line in college. And that's a big telltale sign. If a guy can shoot good from the free throw line in college, then he'll be able to shoot in the NBA. Guys that cannot shoot from the free throw line in college, you rarely can develop a shot. It's a proven fact. It's a science. Yeah, I would like to get an unprotected there, Eric. I don't see that happening, though, homie. I don't know if we're going to get an unprotected pick for Mr. Fultz. I get why Fultz is so butthurt. Seems like he had a good thing going here. He's butthurt, dude, because of all this stuff in the media. People saying he's a bust, saying, he's mental and yada, yada, yada. That is why he's butthurt. That's why there's something not right up there. He doesn't trust people, first off, because going back to his childhood, apparently he had a lot of trust issues. He's got a close-knit group. He's got his mom, his coach from AAU, I believe. Even when he comes shopping at Costco, he doesn't talk to people. People will approach him, and you have to talk through his mom to talk to him. So there's something not right there. Yeah, that's what I mean, Styles. So and you got to remember, it's closer in college, the three-point line than in the NBA. So it stretches out, and it doesn't seem like a couple feet matters that much, but it does. But he shot fairly well from the free throw line in college. I used to be, instead of proving people wrong, he just quits. He quits, he pouts, he expects everything because he was the number 1 overall pick. We gave him playing time, even though he didn't earn it, just because he was the number 1 overall pick. Like, we basically bowed down to this kid, and he still wanted more. Justin Holiday? For Fultz? No, thank you. I'm good. So, for him to say that nobody had his back and everybody's against him, this is what athletes nowadays have to deal with, is social media, the social media aspect, especially with millennials, which I am a part of that. I'm a millennial too. Okay, we're on the internet so much time. And for whatever reason, I myself don't, but people value other people's opinions on social media. They get upset about it when they see somebody talking bad, blah, 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 blah. They get butthurt. Everybody gets a little hit of dopamine when you see good comments said about you, likes, whatever it is. Blah, blah, blah. Social media has become such a big aspect in the sporting area nowadays. It's insane. Michael Jordan's and the guys in the old days didn't have to worry about this. This is a whole new aspect to affect the game. Fultz wasn't playing good, but he wasn't playing really bad. He was playing okay. Okay? He wasn't playing great, but it was the inability to just forget how you shot. And then the shoulder stuff. Is he hurt? Is he not hurt? The Sixers don't know about, pardon me, his shoulder injury. Apparently, there was a report that he got in a motorcycle accident, and then he was told not to shoot, and then he's going against everybody's will and shooting. Fultz needs to hire and delete. Free agents for next year? I don't even know, man. I'm not even looking that far ahead. It's too far to think of at this point. I just want to focus on what we're doing now, the here and now. What we can do during the trade deadline, before the trade deadline. And that is acquiring a backup big man and a backup point guard would be huge. But our biggest need is another scoring option off the bench. Can you send it again, Super Bowl 52? I missed your first comment. I haven't watched South Park in a really long time, so if it's a recent episode, I'm not going to know what you're talking about. I don't get that much time to watch TV, and when I do, I only watch sports anyway. Very, very busy man. But yeah, and the athletes can sit there and say they don't watch and check their social media. It's crap. Look at Kevin Durant. Look at Brian Colangelo. I mean, Look at them all. They're cupcakes. They can't stand when people give them opinions. Fultz needs a higher, but to delete the mean comments. I didn't get that, dude. I know who Butters is, but yeah, I don't. Did that happen during an episode or something? So that's definitely affecting Fultz, seeing that he's a bust already, only not even a full year into his NBA career, because you can't consider his 14 games as a rookie really anything, and then now he's been out 4 games already. Tyreek Evans, he'd be okay. I want to get a guy that's like a pure shooter, a guy that you can rely on to knock down jumpers. I love people that can shoot the ball. Makes him delete mean comments so Carmen doesn't. That's funny. Yeah, sorry, man. It kind of just, you're right. When you have to explain it, it went over my head. I'd have to watch the episode. It's just, I haven't watched South Park since, like, 2003. That's a lie. Maybe 2006. But it's been a minute. But, Elton Brand's got some work to do, fellas. And/or ladies. Wish Fultz could just tell the media what happened. Yeah, but there's something wrong with him, Philly. There's just the whole trust issues going back to his childhood. And it's affected him later in his later years. And he's still a young buck. He's only 20 years old. Then they had that whole drama with him and Drew Halen had a falling out. And then him and the Sixers had a falling out in the beginning. Because, if you guys remember, he was hiding from the Sixers organization. And it was just him and his AAU coach working out. When the Sixers told him not to work out, they found him working out in New Jersey, hiding out in a gym with his AAU coach. And then when the Sixers found out and tracked him down, they left. They, like, ran off. So he's like a recluse. He's a wacko. There ain't something right. He's got to go see a psychologist. I don't know if they do Super Bowl 52, but they should. Every team should have one, just to work through, because mental disease is a real thing out there. If you guys remember, Royce White was a high pick, a 16th overall pick by the Rockets, and he ruined his career. He had mental issues. He couldn't fly. He wouldn't take buses. He was bipolar. He's paranoid. There's a whole lot going on. Put him on some damn medication. That's the result for anything. Let's just listen to the pharmaceutical companies and pill everybody up. What the hell? Just get your ass out on the court and play ball. And don't whine about it. Wah. Boo-hoo. Can't take constructive criticism. You know what you do to shut up haters and stop people from talking? Go out and prove them wrong. Go in the gym and work on your shot. Sitting there and crying about it isn't going to do anything but perpetually make it worse. Duh. Shut him up with your play. But he ain't going to do that. He's going to sit there and cry. Kind of like Karl Anthony Towns, Andrew Wiggins. Both #1 overall picks. What did they do when Butler got on them to work out and try hard and you want to be the greatest, get in the gym? They cried. They whined about it. Another thing that millennials get pegged with, that we want everything handed to us. We want everything given to us. We don't work hard for it. We're spoiled. We're, what's the word I'm looking for? Privileged. That's the word. So, that also gets pegged with us. But look at this. I'm not even talking basketball anymore. I wonder if Jimmy told Fultz to man up. Well, Jimmy had an interview and said he's got Fultz's back 100%, so who knows? Yeah, I know, I saw that. And I don't know if you guys saw the comment that Rocco had, but he kind of said that he liked what we had in Philly with calling people out when they were having issues, not the sugarcoat stuff. And Rocco was the #1 person that was criticized for that because he was very inconsistent and did a lot of stuff wrong. Well, now he's bringing that mentality over there to Minnesota. So maybe what Jimmy Butler said has a lot of truth to be held with it. I thought that was funny when I read that today. So, Rocco, after having that 1-18 game, he plays a lot of minutes out there, is trying to call out whoever it was, whether it's Wiggins, KAT. I don't know. I'm surprised with Tom Thibodeau there that he's kind of a hard-nosed guy, as I thought. Hard-nosed coach. Guess not. Got a lot of softies out there in Minnesota. Any more questions, guys? I've been battling for 45 minutes. Yeah, they probably gonna kick him. I know Dara is miserable. He's only getting like 15 minutes off the bench here and there. It'd be dope if he's a free agent. We bring him back. Don't have to trade for him. Bring him back. I'd love to have Sarge come off the bench again. That's the social media age, baby. That's what I'm talking about, digital. It's the world we live in now. This is the world we live in. The internet runs everything. I think they showed a percentage, but I thought it was crazy that people are on their phone like 75% of the time. It's like another body part, yo. Yeah, he is a liability on defense. I was just kidding. We're not going to go after him ever again. He'll never be a Sixer again. Think the Celtics will get it together by the end of the season? I hope not, Styles Prince. I really hope not. I love how they're playing like crap. And it's funny to think, because we all thought they would get better with Gordon Hayward and Kyrie getting healthy. They're playing worse. It's messing up their whole chemistry. It's awesome. I love it. I love seeing that. So tired of seeing Boston in the freaking news. Title town. Got the Red Sox. You got the freaking Patriots. I don't know about hockey, so who cares about them? But I'm sure the Bruins. Hey, he'd be a good Spurs guy. Eric, I don't think we'll have Dario back here ever again. Shame. I know he loved playing here. I know the energy that he brought every night, it really fueled him. The city, he's like a blue-collar guy. Fit him perfectly. Just like Jimmy fits here perfectly. But I'm going to get up out of here, guys. Leave your comments, concern. This is what we expect out of the Sixers. Let's continue this roll. Let's get it. Because we got some formidable opponents coming up. We got some nice home games. We got Washington on Friday. Don't get distracted by their record. They're a lot better than their record. They got some ballers on there. Beal is a Sixer killer. He freaking kills us every time we play. And if you've seen the guard play, it didn't happen tonight, but who's on this team? Nobody. But the guard play over the past 6 games, they've annihilated us. The guards are averaging 30-plus points. So, you get Wall and Beal coming in here. That's their 2 strongest positions. You got to shut them cats down. But my main focus would be shutting down Bradley Beal. And if we can acquire him without giving up more bench players, let's get it done. Let us get it done. We need a pure shooter on this team. Because our window is now. We got to start winning now. Like, talking Eastern Conference Finals, we can get there, dope. But to this point, what I saw out of the Sixers, even with the acquisition, we're not getting past the second round again. There's no way in hell. Nope. So, we need more splashes, baby. We need better coaching, and we need more firepower. Let's get it done. We got to get more out of Ben Simmons. Progression. Because I'm going to start putting him on a milk box soon, looking for him. Because I ain't happy with what I'm seeing, Ben. You want to be elite? Let's get it, kid. Start taking jumpers. Not off the back of your foot. This is Kyle Gaffner with the Bitter Birds. KG on BB. Leave your comments, concerns, all that stuff in the comment section. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll be doing more Sixers shows, of course. And I'll probably be doing a Philly show either tomorrow during before the football game, or probably not Friday. So, Philly's got to start spending stupid money. You know what I'm saying? All right, guys, I'm out. Peace.